Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. This morning I'm out at a familiar location. I'm out near Rathdowney at Barney View. I'm sitting in the car right now as it's pretty cold out there and I'm just waiting for the light to start to come a little bit. We're about 40-45 minutes away from sunrise, so I'll have to get started soon because I'm here for a particular composition I want to do. It is one that I attempted to shoot once before, but I didn't have the right film, and it's quite a high dynamic range scene. So it's not the typical Mount Barney scene I might normally shoot here, so I'm not too concerned if I don't get good conditions for that. But if I do, I might just grab a frame anyway. It's looking like there might be a little bit of cloud around, but not too much. I can't quite tell if it's going to be high enough yet to catch any light, but we'll soon see. So this particular shot that I want to get is going to be best shot probably maybe 10 minutes before sunrise, I'm guessing, but I'll just set the camera up shortly and just wait and just judge it by when the light is best. And I may shoot 2 frames at different exposures. I am going to be using Kodak Portra 400 today. Not a film I use a lot at all, even though almost everyone on the internet loves it, but I have chosen it today specifically because it has a lot of dynamic range and the ability to keep highlights if you're exposing for the shadows. So we'll just see how this shot goes. Last time I shot it on Velvia and it was just a bit too much dynamic range. I'll get set up in a minute and see how we go. So I'm just setting focus. I'm going to set it so that it's focused at f16 between 5 meters and almost to infinity. I'm just going to re-meter because I'm shooting 400 ISO. I'm thinking it's probably at f16, it's probably going to be something like 30 seconds to a minute exposure, which might work well. I was wrong about the time. I do need to shoot this now, even though we're half an hour away from sunrise, because there's some pretty sweet color. So I'm just going to quickly meter. I'm going to walk up to the grass and meter, and then I'll be right back. So I'm getting 1 minute at f16. I've got my aperture set to f16, set to bulb. I've got my focus set. I'm wound to frame 1. I think I've got a composition I'm quite happy with. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to get a little bit of leaf movement from the wind, but I can't do anything about that. This is my composition. It's a bit hard to see because of that dynamic range, but we've got this little cattle run here and the trees in the sky in the background. Here we go. First exposure for the morning. Haven't been out for sunrise in a little while. Pretty stoked. Okay. And there's a minute. First exposure for the day. I might also reshoot it at 15 seconds just because of the sky. And the foreground will be a bit underexposed, but we'll see how we go. We'll see which one I like best. So I'll do this one for 15 seconds. Okay. That is 2 images that I should be happy with. Here's the typical scene of Mount Barney I like to shoot from this location. That cloud up behind Mount Barney is looking pretty good, so I might keep an eye on that. You never know, maybe I'll grab a shot, maybe I won't. Check out these cows. Just chilling out on this beautiful morning, having some breakfast. Mount Maroon up here. What a spot. Well, it's not even sunrise yet, and I've already grabbed the main frame that I wanted to while I'm here. Hopefully it turns out okay, but there's another one that I want to try and shoot as well. So I might just grab my gear and start walking to where that is. So I've got all my gear, my 2 tripods, my giant camera, my vlogging camera. It's just a very short little walk up along the road here. It's a composition I spotted last time I was out here. And even though I've been here a number of times, I hadn't sort of walked around and had much of a look, which is a bit odd. Usually I like to do that, but I think I just get so focused on that composition of Mount Barney, which I really like, that I just, and 1 or 2 others, that I just hadn't. So this is my composition. We've got this basically diamond-shaped little dam, which I'm going to have in the center of the frame. These 2 trees behind it. And we've got the hills going up to the sunrise sky. And I've got this tree over here, and these couple of trees over here, which may be in the composition kind of framing it. That's why I shuffled a little to the left. So as you can see, I've got that center column on the tripod raised all the way up. I don't really like to do that, but with it down any lower, those 2 trees behind the lake there, they sort of go a little bit too high above that hill behind them. I'm still not sure they're going to be, that bringing it up like as high as it can go is going to bring them far enough down, but it's about as good as I'll get, so we'll just have to roll with it. A bit tricky to see through the viewfinder here. That's about what we're getting. I've made a bit of an error this morning. In my rush, I didn't bring my ND filters, and I could really use a grad ND filter for this because that sky is quite bright, and I'm metering at f32 for 6 seconds for the foreground and about a 15th of a second for the sky. So I'm just going to have to trust in the Portra dynamic range. The sun is starting to come up, so I might go 5 seconds instead of 6, and it should be okay being Portra, but it's a lot of dynamic range. I have just adjusted my composition to maybe cut down a little bit of the sky, but here we go. I'm going to do 5 seconds. I've just got hyperfocus set so that everything from 3 meters to infinity should be in focus. We're still on bulb, so 5 seconds. See how we go. Now I only have 1 more frame left on this roll of Portra, and I might go up and have a look at those cows, see how they look. Otherwise, if I don't like that, I do have another shot in mind, which I might like to grab, which is about probably a 10-minute drive. And we're about 5 minutes or less from sunrise, so that should work perfectly, because I would like a little bit of light on it. Last time I saw that, it was well after sunrise, so I'll have a quick look at the cows while we're here, see if I can frame something up with those cows up there, and maybe Mount Maroon and have the road in it. I'm not sure if I like that yet, but we'll see. I'll grab my gear and we'll go for a bit of a wander. So there is definitely some cool cloud out behind Mount Barney, and it's probably going to get some colour really soon, but I am going to resist the urge. I'm not going to shoot it today. with my one last frame. I'm going to resist the urge. So the sun is about to rise. I didn't shoot the cows because they moved away from the fence too far, as cows tend to do. So I'm going to quickly jump in the car and see if I can get to this spot that I was thinking I might like to shoot. As much as I want to stay here and shoot Mount Barney, I'm not going to. I bet it looks pretty good right now. The light's about to hit it, but I won't. I'm going to do something different. Okay, so I'm here at the spot. Sort of quickly grab the camera. I am rushing a bit, I'm sorry. So this clip is probably going to be all over the place. But the sun is up and it's pretty nice over here at this spot. It's going to be a tricky shot because the sun is right in it. Even grad filters wouldn't help this, I don't think, so it's not the end of the world. Just got to trust the dynamic range and roll with it. So this is my composition. This tree here might edge into it and come across these hills with the sun there to that little dam over there. So I've just metered, I've taken several meter readings. The grass, the trees, there's a little pond over there. I'm getting f45 and 1/8 of a second. f45 and 1/4 of a second, sorry. The sun is in the frame and I'm not confident this is going to work, but you know, the light is beautiful, the scene is beautiful. f45, 1/4 of a second on Kodak Portra 400. Let's do it. And that's it. That's my last frame of the morning. What a lovely morning it is too. It's probably been a month since I've been out for sunrise, I guess. And today is this weekend is the last weekend of autumn here in Australia. Next weekend it will be winter. I love winter, it's my favourite season. Maybe I'd say differently if I live somewhere colder. I find that I tend to go out shooting more in winter. The later sunrises, the cooler weather, the light's a bit softer. Combination of those things, just love it. So I'm so glad winter's here. But anyway, I'm waffling, I'm sorry. It's just such a beautiful morning here in the scenic rim. I'm just stoked. Well, I think that's me for the morning. Had a wonderful time out here. Shot 4 photographs. It's just been beautiful, just nice cool weather, beautiful sunrise. Just had a fantastic morning. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also leave any comments, feedback, suggestions. Let me know which was your favourite photo. Leave it all in the comments below. I can't wait to see you again soon.